I played under De Zerbi 45 times during a record-breaking season for Brighton. It's a very good morning to Adam Lallana. Adam, good morning.
Adam.
Good morning. Can you hear me, chaps?
We can hear you loud and clear. My first question's simple. Harry Kane, unbelievable, Adam, eh?
No, I know, mate, I know.
Absolutely frightening. Listen, we've got you on. De Zerbi, a man you know very, very well. Did that surprise you? The Tottenham, the 5-year contract, the length of the contract surprise you?
Not really. I mean, I think lots of contracts now are obviously 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, you know, they'll only get a year's payoff, I think, in the majority of these contracts. So I just think people are probably making too much of a meal out of it, really. I think should all just be speaking about how honoured the club are to get a man like Roberto in for me to steady the ship and build.
So tell us, Adam, what was it like working with Roberto? Because obviously you worked under some great managers, Klopp, as you know, we all know how great he was. So where do you put Roberto as a coach, and what he helped you develop your game?
Right up there with the top. I always compared him with Jurgen. Actually, probably just the passion that they both possess for the game. I think kind of tactically and game model wise, they're completely different. But in terms of like love and passion for football, they're exactly the same.
Adam, as an interest, I've got to read you a quote, if I may, from your teammate back in the day, Lewis Dunk, in 2023. He said this about De Zerbi, and I quote, "Since the new coach arrived, I see football in a completely different way." He said, but the initial transition was carnage and confusion. So I get it totally. It maybe took a little bit of time for him to get his methods over. The one worrying thing for Tottenham fans, he doesn't have a lot of time to get that over, though.
No, I think listen, Roberto's an extremely smart man. He'll know that he's not got time to play a certain way, a certain style, and he won't be snobbish to not understand that. He knows he's got to go in there, motivate a group of men, and you know, luckily for Roberto, he might not know that, but he's one of the most inspirational managers people there is, in my opinion. And after 5 minutes of him speaking in our first meeting when he joined Brighton, I was on board. I was following him, and I have no doubt that he'll be able to emulate that at Spurs.
Well, there's always a side, Adam, to managers where they get frustrated and disappointed if the team's not quite functioning. But he always, to me, came across, and I know this through people I met in Marseille, always said he lifts and inspires people around him.
He just has that natural gift, his passion for football. And listen, I think the Italian culture, lots of people coming out of Italy have that. It's just part of the way that they understand football. And you know, it might to me and you seem like they're having an argument, but it's not. It's just pure football conversation with a lot of passion, and that's what Roberto and his staff are like. And maybe to some players it might come across slightly confusing, or if you chuck an interpreter in there as well, there's a lot of noise. But football's a common language, I think, and you can feel it when he speaks. And I think that's going to be his biggest asset going into the situation he's going into at Spurs. And yeah, I'm just glad he's taken it, because you know, I met him, I think 3-4 weeks ago. I was in Milan and we met for dinner, and we were chatting, and it was still probably a bit raw for him coming out of Marseille, but I'm just so glad he's gone straight back into work, because football's a better place with him in work.
What's your gut feeling, Adam? Can he keep them up?
Definitely. Not even a doubt in my mind. Not even a doubt. I just think they're very, very fortunate. And I'm actually slightly jealous. I was speaking to a player at Spurs who was picking my brains about him, and I just know how they're going to be in for a roller coaster, but a great one.
Brilliant, mate. Listen, I want to move on, but I know you've not got a lot of time. I want to ask you about Liverpool. Very much an up and down season for them, mate. I wouldn't be totally ruling them out against PSG, but boy, is that a tough game for them. Very tough game. It's going to be a great game, though. I think if anything's going to kind of turn their season, it'll be you know, a game over two legs against PSG. So
I'm excited, and hopefully there's a fairy tale for Mo, which will be nice.
Yeah. What about England last night? We're reading too much into it, or should we just take it as these friendlies, they're not going to please everybody? I called them the other day a necessary evil. I think the England coach needs them, the England team needs them, but I think some of the players and certainly some of the managers in the top flight don't need them. What did you think of the two games?
A little bit like we've just said there. I've been involved in them, and they're difficult. So many dropouts and so many players not playing, and you try a different system. They've not got a striker, and I absolutely love Phil. I love Phil. I'm desperate for Phil to just get back to playing with a little bit of a spark. He just looked a little bit void of confidence last night.
Yeah.
And Pep's been looking after him this year a lot. He's not had much game time, and I'd love to know why. Is he just giving him a breather for the year almost? Because it must be heavy for him playing 7-8 years at the top, and he's still young. It was just one of them games, I think. I wouldn't read too much into it. I thought the Japanese were absolutely fantastic. I must say.
They're a good team.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam.
Organised.
I was going to ask you, Adam, look, life for you now, under 21s back at Southampton, where it started for you. You enjoying it?
Yeah. Absolutely loving it, guys. I get to coach every day. I love my players, the under 21s. There's some great talent there. Just need to get them understanding that the best players work the hardest. It's as simple as that. And they're not meant to understand that at 18. But it's my job to kind of try and get them to understand that, I suppose. But no, I'm loving it, chaps. It's great. I'm playing footy, still playing a little bit.
Magic, man.
Joining in.
Oh, brilliant. Are you joining in, Adam? Still loving it.
Every now and again, joining in when I can. Every now and again.
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. That. See, when you're the referee and you can join in and you can shout the next goal's a winner and all that stuff. It's magic, mate. Adam, so good to talk to you, mate. You keep enjoying it.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Adam.
All the very, very best.
I'll tell you, quick one, mate. This is a fair indication of how you do at clubs as a manager as well. Brighton fans had a lot of time for him, yeah?
Of course.
We'd say that. He'd done really well.
Of course.
Marseille fans loved him. They were always against the hierarchy at Marseille because they knew that he needed more to compete with PSG. And they could never find the money to improve the quality of the squad. But he's still done really well. And the fans did really love his football, the way he, attempted to win games.
Yeah.
And look, to me, if you're going to take this type of manager, De Zerbi, and I didn't ask Adam this because it might be a little bit unfair, but if they got relegated, there's even more reason to stay with him.
Yeah.
Because if he's come on an agreement and said, look, if we did go down, I want to stay here and I want to rebuild this football club. I think they need someone in that is prepared to do that. Now, whether there's fans out there go, oh, no, he won't. He'll just either they'll jump ship or he will. I don't see that. If he's took on a deal and they signed a 5-year, that's with the understanding we go down, I'm staying here.
Well, it has to be.
Has to be.
It has to be.
You can't say we've gone down, we're going to change.
That's what Andy and I were saying.
It's impossible.
It's different, completely different. If you go to a Harry or a Chris,
before him,
or Glenn or somebody like that, that's completely different. You say, look, there's a job for you, 7 games, keep us in the division. But if you go to somebody like De Zerbi, you can't go with the same. You've got to say, look, keep us up, please keep us up. But see if you don't, you need to stay and build and get us back up
and do the things that are required for you to get straight back up the year after. 100%. And if it means making some painful decisions and selling a certain type of players, then do it.
Do you know something? I don't think that would be listen, going down would be a disaster, of course. But how you need to react to it. But see, getting rid of 1 or 2 of the players, I don't think that's a disaster.
No, I said this months ago. I said they're my least favourite group of players in the Premier League.